Hello people, this is Shatakshi Tripathi, founder and CEO of Confused Genius, the digital marketing agency for SMEs and early stage startups. Today I'm going to take you through the 5 major things that can help you scale your business digitally. So here we go. The very first thing is setting your budget. I know this sounds surprising to be rank 1 on the list, but that is how it is. A lot of times we found people to take the budgeting on the go. We usually ask our clients about their budgets and then come back with the best possible solution, and we found it to be working extremely well. And this is essentially a tenet that we follow at Confused Genius. However, more often than not, we found people being unsure about what is their comfort spending. Now, while the usual market trends say that your marketing spend should roughly be 8 to 10% of the revenue, what we usually fail to understand is that for most SMEs or early stage startups, the revenue hasn't started happening as yet. So you need to be sure about what is the money that will not make you uncomfortable. Once you are sure of that amount, as in what kind of marketing spend would you be comfortable with, then your entire strategy can be channeled to make the most out of it. And how little can those budgets be, if you ask? Well, we work with an early stage startup with a marketing budget of just 7.5k, and they've been getting good traction for their app with that. The second point is about using Facebook to the fullest and coupling it with SEO to get the maximum results. Believe me when I say this, but Facebook is indeed a small business paradise. One cannot even fathom how many small-time businesses are getting their leads out of this platform, and how many garments, cosmetics, or other stores of similar nature are thriving because of Instagram. Now, Google Ads sounds like a good option to go for, but usually the minimum budgets that are required for that are very high. However, SEO can be more than enough to fulfill the gap that not doing Google Ads leaves. It does take a quarter or so to start showing results, but once you start ranking, life can then be pretty easy. The third point is interest-based targeting, or in other words, knowing your audience well. Now, this is oft repeated and yet we fail to somehow stick to it. So you need to understand that Facebook or any other advertising platform for that matter doesn't allow for targeting on the basis of education or income or anything that they perceive as discriminatory, and hence you need to understand what is the kind of stuff that your audience likes. Now, you will have to work on the intangibles here, and it is way easier said than done. So make sure that the profiling is done right too. Otherwise, you will end up burning a lot of money. An example that I'm reminded of is of an edtech startup that we at Confused Genius have been working with. So we had the audience profile in place, and yes, the first few days, 6 days to be specific, that is the kind of time it took for us to get the ad performance metric right. So either there used to be too much of a spillover, and hence irrelevant leads used to come up, resulting in the cost per lead shooting up, or the reach used to get significantly limited, and all of this was happening after we had listed out the interest groups very specifically. So if you think that you can select the audience at a random basis on a few parameters, you might want to think about it. The fourth pointer is about the importance of offline activities to boost your online performance. Now, whether we like it or we don't like it, but humankind has still not reached a point where we'll just trust anything that is shown to us online. On the contrary, with the ads showing up all the time, the fake news and the whatnots, the importance of the human factor is increasing by the day for that matter. Now, though the magnitude of impact of an offline activity or the human factor will vary with the nature of the business, yet some amount of skepticism will always be there whenever one will be presented with a new idea or a brand. For most brands though, this can be addressed using email marketing or interacting on social media to capture the mindshare. Even the post promotions or the page promotions that you run, that can help you. However, if yours is a business that has high ticket items or purchases that require some amount of deliberation, please use a human to interact with your prospects. And while this might seem like a very strong statement to make at this point in time, no chatbot can replace a human, not in the near future at least. So please. And lastly, let's make the vanity metric count. It is common for people to spend a lot in the name of brand awareness or building website traffic or improving engagement across the social handles. It makes sense as well, but it is usually too much of a long term that most SMEs or early stage startups or bootstrap businesses can do. However, we can make the vanity metric count too. Now, this can be done through getting a know-how of the various monetization avenues available. For instance, if you are working through a video mostly, then build views over a 3-month period and start using your videos as a platform to run ads. If you're working towards building traffic on your website, then start using Google AdSense and start generating revenue through that. Now, it might seem that this isn't your line of business, and so you should refrain from the same. But please introduce me to one person who did not like a legitimate income such that it would ease the burden as well. So friends, those were the 5 points from my side, and before I say my bye-byes, let's just give you a quick recap of what the 5 pointers were. So the first one is planning your budget. The second is coupling the Facebook with search engine optimization. Third is knowing your audience well enough to do interest-based targeting. Fourth one is mixing online and offline for an optimum performance. And lastly, making the vanity metric count. That was it. Thank you so much.